Welcome, Blue Jay fans. Welcome to another episode of Talkin Jays. I'm your host, George Long, and we are heavily into spring training games. We are now 8 games accomplished through the spring training season. Today, which is March 9th, Blue Jays are playing in their ninth game of the spring training against the Phillies. I almost said Flyers, against the Philadelphia Phillies, and they are up, I believe, 1-0 as the last time I looked. So Steven Matz got the game start, pitched 2, maybe 3 innings, I think. I kind of looked briefly there before I went into the podcast mode. So we'll take a look and maybe see what he's been doing today. So today we're going to talk about some spring training notes. I don't put too much stock into spring training numbers. The number one thing you want at a spring training is everybody comes out healthy. That's the number one concern. And then from the management side, you want to see where everybody slots into your lineup, who's comfortable hitting where. That would be for me anyways. Because the batting order, it matters to me. It always did matter. That matters. You want your lineup to be the same game in and game out. If you can get to that mode, that's what I hopefully they do. But nowadays with analyzing games, they switch the batting order around to who's on the mound against and things. And I wish teams would stop doing that. Go with what works. Go from your 1 to 6 in your lineup and stick with that game in and game out. But we'll talk about the batting order towards the end there and what my concern of mine is with the batting order. But let's take a look at some of the spring training stuff that's going on right now. Take a look at Marcus Semien. These numbers are up to date. I just kind of refreshed, so these are up to date to Philadelphia's games today. Semien, he's healthy. That's the main concern. I don't care about numbers, like I said. Gurriel, 12 at bats, 5 hits. Again, he's healthy. Playing first base today. That was a little wrinkle in everything. Vladdy is playing third base today, and Gurriel's at first. Tellez sitting today, but 4 hits in his 12 at bats. 2 doubles, I believe, 3 doubles. So the slugging is there. You take a look over here, slugging 583, the OPS 917. So he's off to a good start with the stick. Jansen is not off to a good start with the stick, but he's performing well behind the plate. He's getting his innings healthy. That's the main thing we want. Josh Palacios has opened some eyes here in spring training. To me, it would have to be a miracle for him to make this team. I can't see him making the 26-man. Not with you take a look here, Jonathan Davis, who I think, without a doubt, should be on this team. Plays great outfield defense, good speed on the bases, runs the bases well. You can't have. He's going to be so valuable towards late in the game if he doesn't start. He can come in, play some outfield defense for you. Can run a base if a guy gets a hit. Danny Jansen gets a single. Well, a tying run, switch it up. I think he's so valuable to this team, and I think he's going to be a major contribution to this team this year. If just hopefully people see what I'm seeing. So that's who I think. That's who I still think will be on this team. Like I said, they're moving Gurriel first base, so that opens up some outfield because let's face it, their outfield defense last year was a huge hole. Who might. I'm drawing a blank here. Grichuk. Grichuk plays center field, and Teoscar was in right, and Gurriel in left. Gurriel played well. Took some bad routes at times, though. Teoscar takes bad routes a lot, too many times. So I said before, past podcasts, the playoff games against Tampa Bay, he took some bad routes to balls and gave up extra bases and things like that. So they shored up a bit with Springer. Again, keep Davis in with your lineup. That'll even shore up even that much better. Even though he was with the team last year, I think he's gonna have a bigger role this year. Like I said, Gurriel going to first base. Maybe that opens up a spot in the outfield for another outfielder. So I take a look. Everybody here is getting their at bats. They're all healthy. All these batters are healthy right now. I know Springer was supposed to be in the starting lineup today, but kind of had to sit out with a midsection kind of an injury, a little tweak that he probably had in the in the workout room or something like that. So everybody's been healthy. Even if Gritchick, his back is holding up again. So, like I said, main thing with spring training is coming out with some healthy people, and they've been healthy. If we take a look at the pitching, again, this is all up to date. So Steven Matz's game here, 5 innings pitched. So I know first game he pitched 2 innings, so he pitched 3 innings today. He's looking fabulous. 5 innings pitched. You see 6 strikeouts, only giving up 2 hits so far. He's looked really good. I watched some of his outing today on the on-field camera that they had there. No sounds, but I've been watching it. His ball looks really, really good. Fastball, slider looks very, very well. So, guy that I've been impressed with this spring is Robbie Ray. To me, he's a big, big factor in this whole thing of heading into the postseason. I know I always talk postseason, and I'm always going to say postseason because that's the plan to get to the postseason. You can't fall short of that. So it's always getting to the postseason and seeing what we can do in the postseason. So I think he could be a contributor in the postseason, whether he starts or comes out of the bullpen. This starting rotation, it's enough to get them to the postseason. It's just not enough right now to get through the postseason. Feel comfortable with Ryu as your ace going into the postseason. I really do. I feel comfortable with him. Pearson, if he's healthy, feel comfortable. Number 3 or number 2, however you want to slide Pearson, because I think they're going to pick up a player who's going to be a number 2 or number 3 heading into the postseason, and then Robbie Ray as your 4th starter in the postseason. I would take my chances with that. I don't know who the player is they're going to be picking up during the season, but or the pitcher, I should say. So to me, they have enough to get to the postseason. Anthony Cage looked really, really impressive. I think you'll see him make a few starts this year. Who else has been looked? Ryan Borucki, touching 95, 96, 97 a few times, right? And that's a left-handed coming out of that bullpen. Borucki's looked really, really good. I know he's getting up 4 hits in 2 innings, but again, I don't put much stock in the numbers. I look at health and who's putting good swings on bats and who is throwing the ball well. And Borucki is throwing his fastballs getting up there. Tyler Chatwood looks good. Francisco Liriano may or may not get in there. I don't think he'll make the team, but we'll see. He's got so much experience, so it's a possibility. AJ Cole's another one who's not on the 40-man, like Francisco. And the guy who's really looked impressed is Tim Meza. Again, I've just watched some highlights, but his ball looks really alive again. If anybody, I think, out of those 3 pitchers, Meza, Cole, and Francisco Liriano, if any of them make this 40-man, I think it's going to be Tim Meza. The power left-handed, have him and Borucki in that bullpen as power lefties. Oh, that would be just great. Because there's a few righties in that bullpen right now, and you got David Phelps, who's looked good in the spring. He's healthy once again. Dolis, Kirby Yates. We have a lot of righties right now. The only lefty would be Borucki. So to add another lefty, Meza, power arm, and again they don't do the righty-lefty combination anymore. But Meza can get righties out too. So because with that 3-batter minimum, they're gonna be facing at least 3 unless they can shut down an inning with 1 batter and start fresh the next inning. So we'll see how that goes. But again, as long as everybody's healthy, pitching staff's healthy with the exception of Nate Pearson. That's a big, it's a big hole right now. That's your number, your number 3, potentially a number 2 starter in your rotation this year. So that's a big hole right now. Tanner Rourke has looked good in his 2 innings. And Jordan Romano, the ball, the mile per hour is there. Sidney Woods Richardson didn't look out of place at all. He faced some big top batters. And the same with Alek Manoah. Looked very, very well. Haven't seen him pitch. I just watched some highlights. I've seen a highlight of a double play that he made. I even sent Alec a little tweet. Didn't see a pitch live because it wasn't televised, but I saw that finish up on that double play with that nice scoop and looked. I was impressed. And he liked it. He sent a little like back. So everything that's going well right now. I want to talk about the infield defense, though. The infield defense has looked really, really sharp Again, I haven't looked, but just going, following stats and errors and stuff like that. I just pulled up this here just a couple minutes ago here. Just looking at the total chances of some of these players. So Vladdy, we all know about Vladdy's defense, and that is a big concern to a lot of players. Let me try to ease your mind a bit. He's had 17 total chances this year and not one error. So that's a little promising. And he's been bouncing from first and third. He's playing third today, so we'll see what happens today. So that's promising. Simeon, he's had 10 chances and never made an error yet. Tellez, 9 chances in the infield, didn't make an error. Biggio, 8 chances, didn't make an error. And I don't see Bichette. I know Bichette made 1 error, and I think he's only had 4 chances. So he booted 1 ball. So the infield defense, I've been impressed with. That was a concern going into the season for a lot of people. Who's going to play third? Who's going to man third? Is Vladdy going to be at third? They talked about Gurriel, possibly bring him out of the outfield and put him at third, but today they got him at first. So if you have Vladdy at third, and you can play Gurriel at first or Tellez at first without any worry or panic, that's awesome. Because Simeon is, like I said, he's making his plays. Bichette will make his plays. He doesn't got big range yet, but he'll get there. So the infield defense has been a plus. Outfield defense, I haven't seen too much. I haven't really looked at the data, I guess. So, Springer hasn't played a whole lot. Grichuk hasn't played a whole lot. So it's a lot of the Palacios has played out there. Otto Lopez, guys like that. So the outfield hasn't been playing a lot to get some truer numbers, but the infield has, and I've been impressed with the infield. So that's promising. But my number one concern, it's a minor concern, but it is a concern, and it's my number one right now. It's not the rotation. Everybody thinks, well, the rotation. No, the rotation to me is fine for the season. Going into the postseason, not so much. But my number one concern right now is the batting lineup. We are right-handed heavy throughout the lineup. We have 2 lefties who are solid. Biggio and Tellez, to me, are the solid lefties. Then you got Reese McGuire, who may or may not make the squad. I think he'll make the 26-man. The reason is, one, he's a left-handed batter. Not a major, contributor to a batting order. But again, he's a left-handed bat. But I still think he'll make the roster because of being left-handed, and plus he's out of options. They can't send him to the minors. He'd have to go through waivers, and then the fear of losing him for nothing. So I think he'll, the opening day anyways, I think he'll make the opening day. They'll send Alejandro down to start in AAA. He's 22 years old. Don't put the weight of the world on his shoulders just yet. Do I think he'll be up during the season? I definitely do. I don't know how the Reese thing is going to go, so we'll go from there. Reese catches a good ball, so that's to me. I think he'll make the opening day roster. Another left-handed bat that I think will make the roster will be Joe Panic. Good pinch hitter coming in for one of those catchers, whether it's Reese or Danny Jansen. Good left-handed bat, professional at bat, you'll guess. So I think that's why he'll make the roster, because he's a left-handed bat. But the one that hurts, the Michael Brantley, the big rumor, he would have been so perfect for this lineup. You slide him in that 3-hole, that breaks up all those righties, and with his left-handed at bat. And then you can put Biggio where you want. Then you can slide Tellez down. But because we don't have Michael Brantley in the order, I think Tellez got to come up in the lineup and break up those right-handed batters. I think Tellez should be no lower than 5th. I think the 5-hole is the perfect spot for him. Would you like to slide him down to, should he be down to 7? Maybe. But I don't like to compare myself to other teams, but look at the Yankees. They got a roster full of right-handed batters. They got DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, Stanton, Voit, Gary Sanchez, and the shortstop, I'm just drawing a blank. So there's 6 right-handed bats right there. So what they do is they slide their left-handed bat in the 3-hole, and he's not the perfect 3-hole hitter, but they put Aaron Hicks in there. Aaron Hicks is a left-handed, he's a switch hitter, but he'll be left-handed. That's why they put Hicks to break up that string of righties. If Luke Voit was a left-handed batter, Luke Voigt would be in that 3 hole, and then they can move Hicks down in the order. But Aaron Hicks is not the best 3 hole. I know he gets on base a ton, and maybe he could lead off for the Yankees and then slide everybody down. But then again, you have a string of right-handed batters. That's why I believe the Yankees do that, is to break up those righties. So that's why I think the Blue Jays should do it. Don't mimic the Yankees, but you got to make your lineup difficult to play against the opposing coaches and things like that, and don't set up everything for them. So, because if you go with, let's say you want Springer in your 1 hole, and then Simeon is your 2, then Bichette is your 3, and Teoscar is your 4. There's 4 right-handed at bats right there in a row. And then where do you put Biggio? They talk about Biggio being in the 6 hole or the 5 hole. Let's say you put him in the 5 hole, and then then 6 hole could be Vladdy. 7 could be Tellez. They're breaking up a bit there, but to put a string of 4 right-handed batters in a row, I think is wrong at the top of the order. That's why I think Biggio, to me, I would have him in the 2, maybe 3, but to me, I think he's the perfect 2 hole. I posted this. Let's take a look at this lineup. Here's what I like. I like Springer, and then Biggio's the left-handed bat. Then you got Bichette and Gurriel, 2 righties, and then Tellez is a lefty. I know you got a string of righties here towards the end, but to me, you got to have your 1 to 6. That line, that's got to be a little balance with righties and lefties. And here's the main reason why you got to break it up, is 1, you're playing the New York Yankees, a division rivalry. They have Darren O'Day. Darren O'Day eats up right-handed batters. So if you get those string of righties coming up in the 6th inning, he's coming into the ball game and shutting you down, and you're not going to score on Darren O'Day as a right-handed batter and put some hits together is going to be tough. The Red Sox, you got to face Adam Ottavino. He eats right-handed batters up for lunch. So if you put a string of right-handed batters in an order, you make it so much easier for your opponents to shut them down. Tampa Bay, another rival. I had his name, Nick Anderson. He shuts down right-handed batters. So, you cannot make it easy here for your opponents for that reason only. And that's what I would do. I would have Biggio in the 2 hole. I would have Tellez in the 5 hole. And then however you want to slide your righties, if Teoscar should be in the 4 hole or the 6 hole, however you want to do it. But you got to break up that righty-lefty combination, make it more difficult for your opponent. So that, to me, that's my number 1 concern right now, is how the lineup is going to balance itself. And again, Brantley would have been the perfect batter in this lineup. I wish I'd gotten that done. I feel so much better if they did, because he's such a great hitter and another left-handed bat. So I think we are a left-handed batter short right now into this rotation not rotation, but in this lineup. And don't be surprised if they go out and get a left-handed everyday player and maybe move somebody off the roster. I don't know. So we'll see. But to me, that's my number 1 concern. It's not the rotation. Rotation's going to be fine. You got Anthony Kay to come up, Hatch to come up when things are needed. I think they're going to be fine there. I think the depth in the starting pitching is good. Do we have a true, number 2? Maybe not right now, but Pearson can be that guy. And then do I think Robbie Ray could be your number 3 if Pearson's your number 2? Yeah, I definitely do. And then you got Steven Matz, who's pitched well in spring training so far. He looks really, really good. His ball looks alive. So, don't sleep on him. And then you got, to me, you got a good bullpen, with Yates in the back, and then Romano and Dolis, in that 7 and 8. And then you got Chatwood, you got Barecki. So you got enough pieces. Phelps. You got enough pieces to have a decent pitching staff. You just don't have that true starting, big number 2 guy or a 1B to go into the postseason, and hopefully we can get that during the season. So let me know what you think. Hit like on my YouTube video if you like it. If you don't like it, well, don't hit the thumbs down. Just move on, walk away, whatever. So and subscribe to my channel. We'll put some more information out there throughout the baseball season. Work on a few things, so hopefully just to fine tune it. But so spring training's going well. Everybody's staying healthy. That's good, except for the Pearson thing. Springer, just a minor little injury, nothing too concerning. So everybody's staying is healthy after 8 games. Infield defense, like I said, has been a plus. They played well, and like I said, my number one minor concern is how everybody's going to slot in that lineup. So we'll see how they're going to do it. And if they put a string of right-handed batters, and you're watching the ball game during the season, and they come in with Darren O'Day or Adam Ottavino or Nick Anderson, and he's facing it, you'll remember hopefully what I talked about, and saying it's going to make it easier for the other team to shut us down. So you don't want to be shut down late in the ball game. You just don't. You're trailing by a run. You want to put a run on the board where a left-handed bat should be. So and then makes the other opposing coach think about some things. So let me know what you think of the video, and I will see you next week on next week's podcast. Thanks, guys and girls.